Giving it a minute for guys to get in. All right, cool. Miss Hall, how you doing? Let me let people know that we are inside the group. How you, hey, how are you? All right. Yeah, we coming in. I want to fill in for Mo. I think I'm gonna have Shahab hop on here for a minute, and we're gonna talk about this NFT market. uh, Let me see if I can share my screen, or at least share my face. All right, cool. I think we're on here. We are live in Maps and DCG Elite NFT group. What's up, Shahab? Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. All right, let me take a screenshot right now. Trying to make sure everybody know we're on before we start. I'm gonna start off in the first couple of minutes. What I want to do is I want to go over some of the projects. I know that I know our experts. Shout out to brother Mo. He had some um, he had family members that going through life. Part of life is family passing away, and the love and support goes out to them. And so on that note, one of the things I want to talk about, he had the mindset morning, and the mindset call was, a reminder, that it's an entire year, and I kind of like to review. I like to review the year and see where we at. A lot of our NFT projects, we talked about in January, February that the market would drop. Of course, the market has dropped overall. The crypto market, NFT market, all the markets are pretty much down. But also, there's still new projects that are being launched. And so Shahab is going to talk about the new projects. And what I want to do is I want to talk about, being in the crypto space. If you're new in the NFT space, there were a couple of projects. Some of these projects were is going to be around. Is they're going to bounce back, and so I put a list together that I'm going to share inside of the projects that I think that's going to bounce back, and think that if you're getting into NFT space right now at this moment in time, this would be the list of things that I would look at immediately that you can pick up. And so the first project on that list, Clonex. Of course, it's been around 9, 10 Ethereum. The floor has been between 9 and 20 ETH for the last, I don't know, 6 months. And the only thing with the floor, it is that the the value of ETH has reduced, but the ETH is still the same. So for the floor price being 12 ETH or being 19 ETH, it's considerably less than when ETH was 3,000 and 4,000. But the amount of ETH is still, holding the floor of 9 and 10 ETH. And so for Clonex, they have partnerships with Nike. We've talked about that a lot. So if you're new to this space, um, you know, 10,000 or 11,000, it sounds expensive. But these Clonexes were going for 30,000 floor when they first came out. So you're getting it at basically a 60 to 65% discount. Artifact also it came out with, it has an entire ecosystem. And so the Artifact, this floor price has been holding up pretty well. At one point it was at 9. It's still holding above 4. So, to go from 4,800 to 20,000, this still has a lot of upside for this Artifact. And so I just wanted to go through some of the projects that, at different price points, right? So the Artifact, it is a box that opens up and it has other items in it, and those other items could actually go up. And as the floor is dropping, I just want to make the guys aware halfway through the year of what projects were hot during January. And it doesn't mean that the projects that aren't hot now, the value has dropped. But for new people getting in, it is, um, you know, you have an advantage. This Medikey, at one point this was going for about 12,000. Right now it's going for, about 3,400. Right, and the Medikey it's a first edition. The next closest is 1.5, which is the Medikey Edition 2. By having these keys, we're able to buy some of the Clonex. We're able to buy and initiate. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to have a lot of projects that's going to follow after. We don't know, but I know that at one point all these were at a minimum of a 1 ETH. Get a Medikey 3 or a Medikey 4 or a Medikey 2 at 1,500, it is still a good deal or below. So as these prices drop, I'm not saying everybody go take and buy everything now, but I'm saying that this list that I'm providing is the things that you may want to, be your first options. And so for new guys that are coming into NFT space, you will have a higher advantage of getting in. All right. Secondly, Akatar by Michael Johnson. We had to collect a lot of paintings, collect a lot of his art to get into these projects. I think you're at an advantage now to be able to get into the Akatar project, but then they have some accessories that came out. And you see these accessories are all under, pretty much $100 less than, this paper plane special package, is at the price point of less than $500. Now, a lot of the times, trends start. We've had NFT boxes. We've had the artifact, monolithic box, and now he's coming out with a box, and there's only a total of 323, right? And there's 272 owners. Being able to pick up a box under 500, in my opinion, this is going to, when if this project comes back and the Aku starts to pick up steam as far as recovery, I think these boxes, because the amount of holders, right, is only 323 total. So for it to be that small amount, it makes it a desirable. It makes it a rare package, a rare box. And I'm trying to look for the Akatar. I had it somewhere here. Overall, right? And so the minimum, on the Akatars in general, there's about a total of 15,000, and only 323 boxes, right? Special packages that are available. Depending on what's in these packages, they're not open yet. It will be special accessories inside. They'll be revealed at a later date. I think this is a good, nobody knows for sure what's in them, but I think it's a good gamble. All right. As far as risk versus reward, the floor price on the Akatars is a 0.75 or 0.76. And right now you had to do a lot to get these. So even at this price of, 700, $800, right? $800, as this drops, if it drops, I still believe in the overall project, and it may take 6 months to a year for it to bounce back. But remember, we had the same thing that happened with the Bored Apes. The Bored Apes came out; they were 3 or 4 E. They got down to $800. They got down. I bought my Bored Ape for 800, and ended up selling 6 months later or 7 months later for over 60 grand. And I could have kept it for a couple of more months, and the floor would have been about 150 to 200,000. But still, from 800. So the potential, I don't think we're going to see the NFT market, have the craziness that it had before. But I do see these projects, the solid projects, I do see them recovering. It may not be the same hysteria of going up to 10, 20, 30 ETH. I mean, it possibly can, because we've never had NFTs in a recession. We've never had crypto or Bitcoin in a recession. So that's just, based on experience. I think these projects will recover. I just don't know. I can't say what the gains are going to be. One of the newer projects that came out, Brother Mo Shahab, have talked about a lot of posts that were going on. This just came out at the wrong time, in my opinion. But the amount of items, right, is only 4,000 items. This Metashima lighting, the price point here, I got a couple. I own about five of them, which they're about $200, and it looked the project looks cool. So I like how they look. I like the Web 3.0 of things that they're going through. The rarities, they have a lot of upside as far as all the different properties. I don't know which one of these are going to turn into a huge property, but I do think on the NFT project, this is a project that's going to be around. They're just starting in their infancy. So it just went on my list that I feel that they have a solid community. They don't have a ton of assets, so it has less than 5,000 assets, and the price of what it is before the project gets built bigger. I think it has a potential to be over 1 ETH in the future. The Murakami flower, is by Takashi, which is an artist that's associated with Clonex, and as things materialized with Clonex, with Takashi being one of the leaders, designers in the space, along with Furo and a couple others. This community is strong, and so we see the floor right now still at 3. And at one point, I think these were up at 20,000 as well, but ETH was worth a lot more. So of course, ETH can continue to go down, and the price could possibly drop. But this project, I think, is going to be around. They've already kind of rewarded. You've had airdrops associated with it. He's involved in the NFT space. I think he understands NFTs. He understands how to provide value to his community, and so I don't think these projects are going to just fall off. So everything that I'm mentioning right now, it is based on the time, based on the volume, and based on what the sentiment was 6 months ago. So some of these sentiments were a lot higher. Baki, this one was released in a bad environment, and it had a lot of marketing behind it. Of course, the total amount is 7.8. It has Ethereum volume, but in this market, the volume could be better. The activity is low, but it hasn't hit any new lows, right? And it came out during the worst 3 months of NFT history. And this is one of the ones that went up during a bad time. So we see the volume and activity, I think, above 0.3. You can get into the Bakis, and you only have to risk $100, because if it drops under 3, you can get rid of it. But it looks like it has a solid floor, and it's still being traded. The average, one of the things I look at, the average is at 0.47. You're getting it lower than the average, the 90-day average volume or price. So that makes it also a little bit desirable. And I know Nicholas is on this call. I know he's associated with the Baki, so you can add some comments in there. Let us know what your overall feelings about it. The mirror passes. I've been seeing these being picked up. If you're in our Discord and you look at some of these, some of our new little things that we've added, like the NFT Watcher, you'll see that we watching certain wallets, and when they start buying things, they basically put inside of inside of this. And so we're watching. We have a bot that's watching certain wallets, and you'll see that a lot of mirror passes have been bought, and some of the wallets that we watched. So I wanted to kind of point that out, letting you know that the floor price is pretty low. 300. These are not like, you have to go all in. But as these prices drop, we are watching guys accumulate and buy into them. So if you didn't have one, and you see a month ago it sold for 0.29, right? And it's a little bit higher. So, this is it's a positive sign in this environment, right? I own some mirror passes. Everything that I have on this list I own, right? And so I wanted to share and kind of review the things that we own, the things that we believe in. Of course, other deed, it came out. We were spending $4,000 and $5,000 on the gas. The price right now is only about 2,700. It's held its ETH value. Of course, the value of ETH is going down, but these are still being able to buy a piece of land for 2,700 when a lot of people bought these for 7,000 and 8,000. At the time of being launched. And so other deeds, it has a ton of items. I don't like the amount of items that it has out there, but it's held its price, ETH value, and they have a lot of corporate and a lot of big plans established with other deeds, of course, with the other side. So this probably would be at the bottom of my list if I had to buy into one because of so many, right? But all these others on this list is still on the list, right? Another piece of land that is, at a discount that I think has a lot of plans and activity, and they haven't given up on their project yet. I own this land as well. Is the Gamium land, right? And you see here that we have one for 0.55, and the next closest is 0.65 and 0.7. So even at 0.55, if you're buying this land right now, you get to get in for, less than $1,000, and you may have to hold. When you have this many views and you have favorites, at some point somebody really liked the project, right? And I've been buying the land as well. I'm still, I haven't been as active in the new projects. But some of the old projects, I have been looking at them to pick them up. We know with Artifact and Nike, they've done a lot. And I'm going over each one of these, so this way, if you guys have questions on these, but 1 ETH, 1,000, for these Dunk Genesis. Of course, a couple of us on this call, we had bought the Artifact, we had bought the shoes from Artifact. And at one point, I think we're at 15 or 16 ETH for those shoes on Artifact. Of course, those shoes didn't have 12,000 items, but even at 1 or 2 ETH or $1,000 now, I think these will become more desirable, right? And they may get you access to certain new things that are being created in the Nike Artifact ecosystem. So having a pair of shoe. We never know that if it's just a shoe or if it's going to be the things that the shoe gives you access to. Inside of Artifact, the shoes were the different shoes you had, gave you access to get different things in the future. And this is just one to keep your eye on. And so these things on this list, if you can accumulate them over 6 months, you make money day trading, make money in profits, and you wanted to get into NFT space, this is the list you want to use to just start trying to buy things, right? The imposters is already kind of paid out. A lot of us have our imposters staked. I think when I staked my imposter, it was like 3 ETH. Right now it's at 1.5 ETH. But if you look at the activity on the imposters, right, and the price, it's holding the ETH value. In the last 90 days, it's averaged at 2.6. So at least at 1.4, 1.3, if you look at, what's been selling, 1.3, 1.4, and then you'll pop up and you'll see some at 1.3, 1.4, been able to get this at 1.3, 1.4, you're at least buying at the low, right? And we feel this project is going to be a solid project as well, all right? Going down, of course, the Hooligans, is another project. Personally, I wish I would have sold my Hooligan. I was getting offers for 10 or 15 ETH, and I have like I think one of the top, one of the most rarest Hooligans. If I knew what I knew now, I would have sold and bought some of these other ones cheaper, when I was getting those higher offers. But you'll see that this project here, it is dropping. Now it's probably down at the bottom of my list because they came out also in the worst time. As soon as they came out, the projects NFTs were dying down. So I'm not sure if for the long term if they have a lot of backing. A lot of it was hype, but it's still on my list. I'm still watching the hooligans. I own a hooligan, and so I take an interest, but it's probably further down on my list. Top of my list is the artifact, the land, the gaming land, the substrata land, the sandbox land, the artifact projects, these vials, right? It has 11,000 items. There's 19,000 Clonexes. There's 5.4 thousand owners. This can continue to drop, but what we're seeing is around at 0.4. If you look at the activity and you see what they're selling for, I think we're at a bottom, right? The 90-day average was 1.8 ETH. You're getting them at, you see 0.4. You got some at 0.5, 0.6. So I put this on a list because I think the 0.44 number, 0.4, it is down on that's the floor price. If you get them under $500, I think you're winning. And I think these will go back up. So you'll see some of these is 0.3, 0.3. So if you can get them under 0.5 ETH or even 0.4 ETH and under $400, it's good. All right. Coming soon. Yeah, any value you guys have to add in the comments, please add the value that can help other members. One of my favorite artists in the NFT space that I was on when they first came out, of course, is Josie. And, I've been looking to pick up more cyber brokers. I want to buy more. And for me, at 2,000, I think it's still a good deal. The cheapest art that Josie has is about 20,000. And so these NFTs, at 2,000, to me, the community is diamond hands. People that really know about Josie don't sell her work. She's been around since 2015, 14. She's been a crypto artist, and you'll see that these are dropping down, 1.8. You see, guys are buying the rare ones. I'm still getting offers for mine. It's like 3 or 4 ETH. But I'm not personally gonna sell. But if it gets down to 1 ETH, I would tell you guys that it'll be worth the buy. I don't think you're gonna be able to buy anything from Josie under at $1,000 or less. To get it under 10,000 to me is still a good deal. 2 ETH a couple of months ago was still about 6,000. Right, if it was at 2, but everything that was selling was like 3 and 4 ETH was the floor. So it was about 10,000 was the low. So right now I think this is still a good project. I don't think she's gonna, she wasn't in it for the money grab, even though she did well on the cyber brokers. But I think it's that whole ecosystem built around it. All right, and a lot of developers will work with her for free just to work on her projects. The pre-mint, pre-mints are still going on. It's slowed down as far as the whitelisting and the projects because the projects are slowed down. So some people are selling their pre-mint collector's pass, and you see the 90-day average is at 1.3. You see down here it's 0.7. I don't see anything. I don't see any under 0.6, but 0.7, 0.8. You see activity going on a day ago. If this can go lower, you'll be fine. So you can actually wait and 0.7 to 0.9 and see if the floor drops lower. During the times that we have, we know in the middle of the month it may drop again, crypto. But in the meantime, this should be on your list if you wanted to get a pre-mint pass. When I go to the pre-mint site, right? When you have a pass, you're able to just come in here. Inside of the Mastermind, we're sending out some of the projects for the free, right? And for me, I go through some of these, and some of them I stopped because I didn't know if they were. I don't want to get scammed. and I just haven't been in the NFT space looking at it focused. But when the NFT space picks back up, I think they'll get a lot of projects that you'll get to raffle for pre-mint, and that pass may become, um, may become more valuable, right? And one of the things I do is, even on MetaMask, I create new wallets, right? I create new wallets for if I'm day trading, if I'm, if I'm buying in a certain month, different things that I'm doing. I create a wallet. All right. And Nicholas says it's been well worth it in his point of view. And damn, Nick, we supposed to talk. My bad, bro. I know we were supposed to talk today. All right. Talk to Shahab. I got to get my man Nicholas on the line. All right. So the pre-mint, that's good. Another project, the Ring of Black Box, right? The guys that I'm working with on my elite side, I'm actually going to, make sure that they have a lot of these projects. If they consolidate, I'm going to, tell them to consolidate on some of these projects to make sure that they have everything on this list. So the black box, this is new. And I think the boxes, everybody's trying to make their project more valuable. So I think the boxes that come out now, if they don't make it desirable, they don't put things that are very, rare or important in their black boxes, it has a chance of killing the project. So if we buy these black boxes or we buy these mystery passes and it doesn't have value, it's going to right now in this environment, an NFT project will die, in my opinion. So if you look at the history on this black box, 90-day average is 1.1, and you start seeing this starting to trend back up. All right, and so getting this at under 1 ETH. I think the floor price is at 0.85. Of course, it could be manipulated. All these projects, and they can have guys buying their own project like they did on Moonbirds. A lot of the Moonbird sales were internal to keep the prices high. But I think the ones I'm picking out is based on experience. Rumble Kong League is a project that Crypto Black had talked about. Sonya and I had met with some guys in the Warriors, and and we actually talked about this project, and we were talking about an NBA team and NFTs, and this was one that they had mentioned. And so, a couple of days ago, the floor got to 0.8, and now it's back up to 0.95. Even at 0.95 and now 1 ETH, you still have some room there, and you're going to see that these. I think we're hitting the floor on the RumbleCon. They're supposed to have 3-on-3 tournaments with these NFTs. A lot of the NFT NBA players are going to kind of be involved in managing some of these projects. I think the NBA players, you had Steph Curry and people buying Bored Apes. I think they're going to support their own basketball projects. So I think these will be the next in line outside of Bored Apes. To be supported by NBA players, right? If they're going to support a project that's been around for a little bit longer, it's a play to earn basketball game, and we're big on play to earn. Shout out to the Undead Blocks, but this is a project that you can get cheap for right now. Substrata is a piece of land that I had liked, I still like. It had a multi-chain aspect to it. It had land that could be developed by developers. So the substrata, it just hadn't taken off as far as the guys developing under this. Of course, it's more like the Roblox and Minecraft, like on the development side, but it's open source. So I think at some point, this has a lot of upside. There's not that many items, less than 1,000. So at $200 is not, you may lose $200 or $400, but it has more upside. And you'll see right here is 0.245, 225. If I swept the floor of these three, the next one's at 0.3 and 0.35. So, there's not a ton of items available to buy land here. If the project, picks up steam, I think it has a opportunity, a higher upside. So that is kind of my mid-year update on as far as on the NFT space on a couple of projects. If I missed some that you think we should have talked about, I'll put the projects here that I felt good about that I own. Right, nothing I like to share is things that I'm telling you guys to buy and I don't already have. If you're an NFT collector and you have some things that you don't believe in that you're holding, there's no problem with selling your losers and moving them into some winners. All right, and then if in some of the projects I like big name projects that have big backers. I'm not going to experiment in an NFT space during a time where everything is down. I want to know that they have some infrastructure. So I see Nicholas. If they say something like the seeds. I know Shahab and Nicholas. They're doing a lot of research. I know Brother Mo. He has his things that he like. The things that I like is things that I think overall is going to help DCG members make money. I mean that's kind of how I approach that. I want to get guys into things that are going to make money because I know that the reason people will join DCG is one to learn and second to make money. And so nobody really wants to gamble. But if the upside is high and the high risk versus reward, a low risk versus a high reward, those are the projects I like to get into. All right, cool. Let's the seeds. Let's take a look. All right, and so if you guys can talk about it, I can't talk on it because I haven't researched it. Since both you guys talked about it, Nicholas, come on, speak or Shahab, if you guys want to say something.
Nicholas, you want to come on the mic? He's been following this one pretty closely.
All right. I think Nicholas might have to go back out and come back in if he didn't put his mic in. He,
And
he
if he doesn't come on, he spoke about it last Tuesday, so I added that to the notes. It's in the weekly notes as well. If people are interested in the Mastermind.
Nicholas go out and come back in because he doesn't have a you got to
It's a good long-term goal, and there's some pretty big companies behind this project. The other projects that I wanted to, if Nicholas comes back, he can talk more about this one. I'm going to talk more about the other ones.
you want to
Oh, you can't see my screen.
no.
Can you see my screen?
There you go.
Coming out.
Yeah, it's coming up now.
Yeah, that
We
we
should
can
talk
see
about
now.
this one. Yeah, so I was talking about Llamascape, Llamaverse. NFT Llama is a very well-known influencer in the NFT space. He has a proven track record. And last week they launched the Llamascape Land project. It's kind of like what is this? Can someone tell me the name of this game? We just mentioned it like 5 minutes ago. Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Yeah. I'm not that much into Minecraft, so it's like a play to earn, but you can also stake this and earn the bits. It's a little bit below floor right now. The mint was 0.3. It's 6.5k items, and they come with these grid graph identities. These also minted at 0.3, and they went up to 0.6. I minted a pair and I staked both of them, and I'm just gonna forget about them. Just have it staked and forget about them. These ones, the Gridcraft identities, they yield 3 times more bits than the land itself. So that's one project that I'm holding long term. Um, the other project is Clementine's Nightmare. This one minted in February. The reason why I dumped so much is because uh, the game is coming out in fall this year, and they minted in February, but the game is coming out in fall. And in the NFT space, people don't have that much patience to wait for a project for that long. So it started off pretty high. I sold it for 1 ETH at the top, and pretty glad I sold it at 1 ETH because it's dumped down all the way to 0.09. And I think this could be a good pickup sometime before it releases it in fall. I think it's going to be a pretty good game because they have a pretty good team behind this game. So this is something that we can keep an eye on.
Yeah, I like that price. Under $100 for risk versus reward on there. That's a 10x.
Yeah. And they were doing pretty good collabs back in the day. They even did collabs with MPH, My Pet Hooligan, and they have a pretty good team behind this project. So I'm betting on the team. The other project that I talked about the last call, the Rail Pass. This is kind of similar to the pre-mint pass. It's like you're betting on the market. The floor is now 1.3, but the average price for these ones were like 4 to 5 ETH in a few months ago. But in a bull market, you can easily make back 1 ETH on these in a month. Like within 2 to 3 weeks, you can make the 1 ETH from the whitelist that you get from this in a bull market. I'm expecting these to come down a little bit more because the volume is pretty low, and if I would recommend like not buy the floor on this, but like put an offer on it and try to buy below the floor by putting an offer on this. Yeah, so those are the projects that I want to talk about. Is Nicholas' mic working?
Nah, he must be on the mobile phone.
The other thing that I wanted to say, like adding on to what Brother Jamar talked about, I'm looking at the market long term right now. Many people right now, they're kind of like bearish about the market. They're scared. I was reading a tweet earlier from the founder of Pix Passport, and Popeye was saying that he's like taking a break from NFTs and looking at like trading crypto right now. And these are like some of the best alpha groups in the NFT space. So everybody's kind of scared right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm feeling more optimistic about the market because I feel like the more the bear market goes on, the better it is for us because we can just stack up ETH. And if you look at the top projects,
I mean, that's pretty serious though. When you have a CEO of an NFT project saying he's going to start trading, you know, I'm a long term because I feel like NFTs are it's alternative, and I put money into NFTs when the market has been down before. But to see some of these guys that got into the projects like CEOs and saying that hey, I'm getting out, I'm gonna just start trading crypto. You know, it does make me realize that a lot of the NFT projects aren't coming back.
I feel like some of these guys are pretty young. Like Popeye is like I think 22, 23 years old. People who are like more seasoned traders who've been trading crypto or forex for a long time, they understand that the market is seasonal. So these ups and downs, they're like a normal, like natural thing in the market. So I feel like the market eventually it's gonna come back up. But and also if you see all the blue chips, most of the floors like 1 Ethereum is still equal to 1 Ethereum, and most of the floors in Ethereum terms they haven't gone down by that much.
Right.
So I'm still bullish on the long term, and that's why I'm looking at it in the long term perspective. I'm looking at projects that are still gonna hold their value. They're still gonna be at least what they're worth right now in a year's time.
Right.
So
And Shahab, you're making a good point that I try to stress to guys is that some of these new projects, if you have a new guy that's 23, 24, he hasn't been in the crypto space long, and you don't know if he's going to be around. But some of these guys like Josie, Artifact, they've been around through, this is their life, and they're in it for life. They're not in it for just the money grab. So those are the projects that, you know, if I can't tell a guy who's been in it, if it's not a lifestyle for him, then, you know, that's not a project I want to get into.
some of these artists they've been at their
We even had guys like Alex Becker. I know a lot of you guys follow Alex Becker, but just about 3 months ago, he just doing it to get views. One moment he's in the NFT space. One moment he's creating a game. Next moment he's saying, "Hey, y'all should just get a job again." The NFTs and the crypto is dead. So it's like those guys. Like I can't really endorse or get behind a project.
He's back now talking about he's accumulating the top in the from coins from his top 20. So he's looking like things like Solana and
Yeah,
whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think he
feel like
does
some
that
of
just to
these.
create views, right? And he makes money off YouTube as well.
Right, right, right. I mean, he's more of a marketer, but now he's back talking about dollar cost averaging and on the solid coins.
Yeah, well, he needs content too.
Oh
They
yeah, that's true.
they need content. There's something to talk about.
I feel like some of these influencers they blow whichever direction the wind is blowing. Wherever there is a trend, they talk about that to get views. Can you hear me now? Yeah, we can hear you. You can take over if you want, Chris.
Hey, Nick, you want to come
Hey
in?
Chad, can you drop the links in the meantime while Nick is talking? Thanks.
Sure. Alright, give me a second here. I actually was not prepared to do this.
All right, I can hear you talking, bro.
Wait, hold on. You want to share your screen? You gotta click present from it. I'll give it to you. Go on.
If you want a few minutes to prepare, I can talk a little bit more.
Oh, you have the screen now. You can.
Nah, I just throw it on there. Me and Nick never talked, so I'm just putting him on here on the spot because he's typing a lot.
Well, I mean, it's fine. It's whatever. We can get to that conversation later. But I mean, I'm not really surprised or impressed too easily in crypto. But Gossamer Seeds is one of those projects that's come along that's actually stood out from your typical vaporware and everything else. They've got actual people behind them that we know and love every single day. I don't know how many of you have actually looked at Bronze Studios yet, but they've got quite a bit of pretty popular movies that they've created. I don't know if any of you have seen the Joker movie, House of Gucci. Here's Kevin Hart that did one of
Right.
them called Fatherhood. I mean, they've got big names behind them already, big time involvement in the film industry. So it's not like they're just some random teens that just jumped into this industry and they're trying to carve out their little piece of it. They've actually done this for quite a while. So when they launched something like this, I automatically started looking into it quite a bit more.
Right.
Ever since then, we've seen Timberland came out and was tweeting about it on day one, and it was actually the same day that he was speaking at NFT NYC. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well. We've also seen they came out with an announcement about they're building their metaverse with Unreal Engine 5.
So nah, yeah, because I haven't bought it, and so I'm looking at it and the sales that they're having, like in the last hour, it's still pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, so I mean, it's more so about what they're building still. Like these malls here, they started off as seeds, and we didn't really know too much about them as seeds. They ended up going like zero point 0.6, zero point 0.7 or so, and floor price was the highest they hit so far. But then they kind of updated the metadata to a new collection piece, and all of a sudden they look like lightning bugs. But then we got this next evolutions with what they are now, and they're these moths. So we know now that they came out with, I think it's on the 16th is when they're minting the Gossamers, and you have to have a moth to be able to qualify to mint a Gossamer. Then it's the day after that is when it goes public mint. Maybe the 10th.
All
I
right.
can't remember exact date, but it's coming up soon. So having a Gossamer seed, which is these moths here, is what qualifies you for the actual Gossamer. And then they came out with a tier as well for their kind of membership status. Basically, if you have both the moth and the Gossamer and they're paired, then it's your kind of your highest tier membership within that community,
What
essentially.
what's the other then? You saying that the moth?
Yeah, so the moth tier is what they've gotten released so far, and then coming up soon, they're going to be minting the actual Gossamer character.
You got Shahab, you got Nicholas, and I mean, to me, the price point is still low, so you don't have a lot to lose right now.
I've already picked up two, and it's lower than what it was last week, so I think it's a good place to pick up.
All right. Does anybody else on the call have one of these or have? Yeah, you got 10 of them. Huh?
Yeah, I sold out a few of them because I got them changed over. There's different traits they've already had on Twitter, where if you would have tweeted your Gossamer's ID number in a certain time frame, they'll upgrade it to a different trait. I'm just gonna find one. Yeah, so you can see the eyes here are glowing. So right now the cheapest one of those is 0.435, and I had all of mine upgraded, so I sold a couple of them for a little bit of a premium. May buy some more here instead.
So what quality was that? I'm gonna go look in the qualities.
I don't know what the name of it is, can't remember, but it's something they did on Twitter recently. Basically, if you go to their Gossamer_Worlds is their Twitter handle, and just keep a watch on that. They've got another one coming up on, I want to say the 12th. So the next one where you basically tweet your Gossamer number towards them, and they've got a bot that just categorizes all that. They got more information in Discord too, obviously, whenever they go live with it.
All right. So I think just this information on this one project is worth the call right now. Because I didn't have this one before I got on this call. So.
Pretty much all I've got on that.
All right.
If you
Cool.
have any questions about it.
There's so many good buying opportunities in this bear market. But I'm not putting all my Ethereum into like one specific project. I'm gonna even it out over the list that we're making for the long-term buys that we have. And that's why I say that the longer the bear market goes on, the more I like it because it gives me more time to take more positions. And then once the market comes back, it's gonna pay dividends.
All right. And they got a mint coming up. So yeah, I'm gonna buy a couple of these today. Um, it's good. It's good to know. All right. Well, cool. Hey, well on that note, if we got anybody else that want to add in, I mean, the mastermind call is for everybody that's interested in NFTs to get together. I know that normally Mo is on this call and Shahab, but part of the mastermind is that when we got all these smart people on one place, we don't want to depend on one person. How to get it? Um, you just have to have ETH in your wallet. So you have ETH in your MetaMask wallet. You go to OpenSeas. You come over here to this collection, and you need to practice buying. So I would say come here. You add your wallet. You come in. You hit your profile, and it'll have you sign in. It'll have you connect your MetaMask wallet. And you'll have ETH in your wallet. So I think on this wallet here, I'm low on ETH on this wallet. So I had to I'm gonna move some from a different wallet into this one. You can have a new wallet. Yeah, you can establish a new MetaMask wallet. You can get an old wallet.
you have like a good profit. So even though like people are scared in the market, we're still gonna be looking, doing research. We're gonna start doing the weekly um, market analysis on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So there's still plays to make. So still
That's Shab was saying. We had talked earlier, and Shab was saying he missed a lot of plays this weekend. He was moving, and we were talking about the NFT space overall. This is when we create wealth during these times, and so for us, it was about picking up the amount of information and picking up the amount of research we do collectively to make sure that we in these projects like this one right here. I would have missed it because I'm not. I've been focused on the futures and the crypto and the other trades, and that's why we had this mastermind. So this way we don't miss these projects. And so shout out to everybody that joined this call. Yeah, I know Brother Mo. He's not the only person. Shahab is not the only person. It's all of us collectively. We got Nicholas. Nicholas is a influencer on many different projects, and the goal is for everybody here to make money and not miss out on the opportunities that we have.
yeah, maybe on the next call I could just go live and buy an NFT, like go through the whole process.
Yeah, I mean, everybody see me buy NFTs, but yeah, you do that. I would buy it. I just want to show all my wallets right now because I've created so many new ones now with all the stuff going on with to me and the IRS. I've been so you guys know I don't really do a lot of centralized stuff. A lot of my stuff is decentralized. Another thing that I think in DCG we'll see is more peer-to-peer things going on. I know guys have been buying and selling crypto to each other, and so I'm not going to talk about that much. But we want to use our network. We want to use our mastermind and get full capacity and have our own ecosystem. That's me saying a lot without saying a lot. Collaboration. And so, just so you guys know, one of the problems with collaboration, or not problems, um, you have these new, you have a lot of ways to collaborate, such as if we wanted to buy something together, you can use something like Party Bid, right? And Party Bid will allow you to kind of say, hey, let's buy this project together. So if me and Shahab or anybody on this call, we wanted to buy this together, right? This asset right here is point 395, and I'm short on ETH. And I said, hey, you know what? I want to start a party. Here's OpenSea thing. Here's Next. All right, we can. It could be. We can purchase it. Do a random. Say we'll have a party for one day. We'll do a party split. All right, we'll just put it right here. So now I'm starting a party right now. Oh man, it's the wrong one. But I'll keep this wallet up here. So it's going to cost them $20 to start the party. Now, if we wanted to, partner up on this, I'll send this link out. I'm going to get an invite link. It's going to take $20 out of my wallet, and then, I'll be able to put in 50% or 30%. So if it was a $10,000 project, you'll be able to buy together. So right now, I'm waiting for this project to transaction to go through. Took the $20 out. All right. I can actually add some ETH. All right. So this is kind of you guys see it in real time. And I'll put this link, and if anybody wants to go half on this one here, right? And I recommend you do this with people you trust because at the end of the day, um, right? So now I'm saying I need additional 2.49. Right now I can invite some friends. Now I'll put this in here, and now it's like, hey, now I have it, but I know who I'm inviting. All right, and it's one of us. But see, on something like this, it gives us access to buy something else. Right? It gives us access to buy another one. So now you're kind of whitelisting and partnering on this. If it goes up, you can sell it. But now you had an equal amount of tokens involved in the project.
Okay, I put in point one too. So if anybody else wants to put in point one.
All right, and so you know that is how it works. And then once it's done, the party is complete.
Okay, now we need point one more.
And normally I would just do this in a small group. So like if you had 3 or 4 people that you normally buy with, I wouldn't send this link out to somebody on my Facebook. It would be to 2 or 3 of my partners that we already buy things together.
Costs only $6.
Cost you $6, right? So you'll see that it starts adding up, and this is how they make their money. They make their money by, charging, taking a part of the fee and part of the gas.
Nicholas saying that all the mods are essentially the same. There's a few that have been liquidated. Yeah, I think NFTs that are not revealed, they kind of behave like fungible tokens. They're all the same.
Right. So
These are more so like companions to the customers, essentially. Like think about the Avatar movie. You know how they have their mated companions that they have found. From what I understand, that's similar to what these moths are to the actual Gossamer characters they're launching. And these characters are what we're going to be able to watch on Netflix and the shows they're launching with it. Check out their Twitter videos they've launched on their Twitter account. I mean, they've got some videos about the metaverse they've already released, and I'm a gamer myself. I grew up on games early days, and it's all I did as a kid. So seeing the quality of detail they've announced so far from this just really blew me away as a gamer alone, not to mention as an investor in this as well.
We're short by $2.
no, I don't think so.
0.005 more required.
So somebody's short. All right, I'll put some more in there. All right, it's already done.
It has to be exactly 0.004.
No, 0.4. I think we already got it. We're already on. It made it happen. All right, so it's already in there. Should be able to see it here. All right. I think we can get out like in 2 minutes. So I do have a lot of wallets. All right. So where we're gonna see it is at right here. This is where it's gonna be at. All right, cool. Well, on that note, is anybody else? Anybody else have anything else?
Great class, thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you guys for joining in. Thank you for coming in for this hour, sharing your time, and it's good to be back. All right. Hey, thanks, y'all. Thanks, Nick. Thank Barry Parker, Miss Hall, Dazzle. I don't know who is Bass Diva. I don't know who Bass. Vanessa Ty, Lori. All right. On that note, man. Hey, thanks, guys. Talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, everyone. See
All right.
you guys in the chat.
All right. Cool. Bye bye.